What's up, guys? I hope you are all doing super well, just as good as I am. Let me just go ahead and share my screen here, and I hope you hear me well. Just write in the chat if you have any questions. But basically, this is today's agenda, right? So, quick introduction, and then we'll jump straight to the status on the Reddit launch last week. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I've done since last time on You Are My Star. There's actually been happening a little bit of a pivot, so that's going to be quite interesting for you guys to see, I hope at least. So, I am Rasmus. I'm originally from Denmark, but I'm based in Portugal, and I'm building You Are My Star, which looks like this. So, it's basically a marketplace for buying and selling stars, and I'm building on top of my boilerplate called Speedwheel Marketplace, which is a boilerplate you can use if you are considering building a marketplace yourself. So basically, by using this boilerplate, you have all the things you need, and then you basically take your marketplace in whatever direction you want to take your marketplace idea. So it's a very fast way to basically build a marketplace MVP. So go ahead and check that one out if you haven't already. Cool. So last week we launched on Reddit, right? And if you haven't already tried launching on Reddit, Reddit is a cool place, but it's also a place where there's a lot of crazy people, you could say, right? So it actually went quite okay in the beginning. I got a lot of traffic, and I also got some feedback. Unfortunately, they removed it afterwards because my post for that was actually removed. That was a bit of a shame, but then again, I did get quite some feedback, which is what you always want, right? So people liked the idea, but they didn't like the fact that you could. It looked a bit more too commercial, basically, and then in the end, the post was removed. Anyway, I took that feedback and I changed some things then on You Are My Star so that it basically looks less commercial, and now you can also very quickly become a seller, basically, right? So let me go ahead and show you how it works right now, basically. So instead of how it was before, where there was like 30 stars by default, now the way it works is that you basically go in and then you make your own star, you draw your own star, you could say, and then you're already a seller. And right now you can basically make as many stars as you want right now, right? And then eventually you will then also be able to change the price, and then the currency here is Stardust, right? So right now, a when you make a star, that one is just costing 100 Stardust, and that's the default right now. But then people can buy that star from you and then sell it again and so on, right? So it's slowly becoming a marketplace now, right? So let me show you how it works, right? So basically you go in, you log in, right, and then you click here, and then you can create your star, right? Then I can generate a star very easily like this, but I can also, like, do it myself, which takes a bit longer, of course, right? So there's a lot of stuff here I can change to make my own star the way I want it to look, right? And if you are creative here, and if you want to use a little bit of time on that, you can then do that, right? So you can actually make some pretty cool stars, right? I can also draw if I want to. So like draw something like that. Okay, that did not look that good probably. And I can also add some emojis if I want to, right? Like something like that. Let's just say that that is my first star here, right? So then I go ahead and save that one, and now I then have a star that I can basically sell, right? So right now it's by default is then for sale actually. So people can now go in and then buy this star, right? I cannot buy that one myself because I was the one who made it, right? So if I go in here, it says like you cannot purchase this star because you made it yourself, right? Which makes sense, right? But basically, when you then buy a star, you then transfer that amount, the 100 Stardust, from the seller to the no, the buyer to the seller, right? And you can still then also dedicate it to a person as you could before, right? So when I buy it, I can then dedicate that to my mom or to someone that I know, and then either just dedicate it and put a quick message like this. So let's say this for my mom, right? So I dedicate it to my mom. I don't necessarily have to put in the email of the recipient, but I could if I wanted to. And still, if I do that, that person would then get the message by email as well. But if I just do like this, then it would just be added to the starboard like this, right? So you would then be able to see it on the starboard that I dedicated this star to Peter in this instance, but that could also be mom, right? And then you can see it here on the starboard. And the idea is here on the starboard that it would basically live forever on the starboard. So that's that one. There can be done a lot of more cool stuff on this one. I believe this one will be really cool eventually, right? Like when we have like hundreds, maybe thousands of dedications, that's going to be really cool to look at, and we can add some filters and all this stuff, right? Cool. So basically, but then I can also, so if I go to the dashboard area, I can then still see, of course, I can now, of course, see the stars that I made. So the stars that I made, and I can also see the stars that I bought. So you can see here, okay, this person made one star. That was actually the one we just made. And I also bought this star, right? So let me show you how it looks like if I buy another star. Let me just see if I have enough Stardust to buy, right? So right now, a star, as I was saying, costs 100 Stardust, and I have enough Stardust here, as you can see, right? So I should be able to buy this one, right? So if I buy this one, and if I buy that for my mom, Mom's Day is coming up soon, so that might be fun. I'm not gonna send her an email right now, but I'm just gonna add like something like that. You're my shining star. Thank you so much, mom. See you soon. Something like that, right? Cool. And I submit it. So now I'm basically buying that. So you can see I purchased that star. If I then go to the dashboard and go to my Stardust area where I can see the amount, you can see that I now have 100 less Stardust, right? Which makes complete sense, right? Cool. So then if I go to the starboard now, you can see that that dedication is also there. You're my shining star. Thank you so much, mom. See you soon. So that's fun, right? And then people can then upload it. So every user can upload it once, and that's also a fun way to kind of have reactions there as well. So that's how it works right now. And you can see that it's purchased and so on, right? You can also see the dedication in here, right? So basically, right now you can eventually, like one star can have like 10 or hundreds of dedications in here. That's also going to be really cool to then have a look at, right? And everything works the same here and so on, right? Cool. So that is basically how it works right now. So whenever you have time, guys, go ahead and check it out and create some stars. Right now, you can actually create as many stars as you actually want to. I might add a limit on that, but go ahead and try and make some stars, and maybe also buy from some of the other guys on the marketplace. And yeah, so that's gonna be fun to see what you create, right? Look at this beautiful star I just made here, right? But I'm sure that there's some creative people out there that can make some that are even more beautiful, right? And if you're very lazy like I am, sometimes you can just go in here and then just generate one here, right? So that also creates some pretty cool ones, right? Like look at that one. That's cool, right? And you can also call it whatever name you want to, right? So if you want to call this mom's star, you can do that, right? Cool. So that is it right now. So I really want to see how, if I can get some, I hope I can get some more people to use it this week. And then maybe next week we are going to be launching then on Product Hunt, just to see if we can get some people to then, even more people to then come to the marketplace, right? So that's it, guys. I hope you found it somewhat interesting. And again, if you're building your own marketplace, check out Speedbuild Marketplace, right? Cool. That's it. Always just reach out if you have any questions, guys. See you in the next one. See you. Bye bye. Ciao.